always forget. All right, perfect. So I am going to go to our ARCs. Perfect. And I am going to go to, sorry, I don't normally go this way. Under resources, it's the Alliance Underwriting tool. I just recently updated this, so I am going to put our login in the chat that we share to you guys. And... oh, I misspelled it. And here is the password. So when you get to this payment screen, we're going to click login on the top or to the right, and it's going to log me in. All right. So this is your screen. So you can either in the top corner, you can do final expense or term. So this does two things, as well as Mutual of Omaha and I think Foresters uses their term underwriting for their IULEs. So that can answer a lot of your questions if you're like, I don't know if this weight would be approved to a MU IULE or this condition. So you can put it in there, which I'll show you. So I don't normally put coverage options up in this corner because if you put, you guys or most of you are newer. So if you put $100,000 of coverage here, you're gonna put in whatever the client tells you, right? And you're gonna click quote. Well, guess what? No one will cover 100,000 of whole life. Does anyone know why they won't? Any brave souls?
That's too much bang for the buck.
Yeah, for the whole life, it's way too much coverage for a final expense policy. So normally some carriers go up to 50. Normally it's between like 30 and 40 though. So I leave that blank. So when you leave the coverage type to level, unless they're definitely guaranteed, like, hey, they got Alzheimer's or something, you can switch it there, or limited pay. So I'm going to leave this level. Because the second you start adding stuff, then it'll change the rates. So you don't have to know what level it's going to be. So we're going to do a male. We're going to keep it in Florida. We're going to go 50 years old. And you see how this height and weight is optional. So you can either put in their height and weight if they're kind of on the edge, or just to be safe, or if they look like a healthy height and weight, you don't have to put it in. Nicotine, there's cigarettes plus other nicotine products, occasional pipe or cigar use, and then other nicotine products. So I'm gonna leave this none, as well as payment types. So they have bank draft, direct express, which is like Social Security. Not Social Security billing, but it's a special account where they put in their checks. And then credit and debit. Most of the time, you're going to want a bank account. It's normally safer. It stays on the books normally, much better. But if you want, you can put in credit or debit. The client's like, nope, no way. So we have our drug and health information. So you have the green check, which is enter a health condition or enter medication.
Just call me and tell me about.
All right, so then we are doing enter medication. So let's say someone has diabetes. Well, if you put like they are on insulin, you don't have to enter the health condition also. So we're gonna say they're on insulin, they have diabetes, no complications. You can put it in if they have a complication. So we're gonna do no complications. For this instant, I'm just gonna say they got diagnosed with it today and started it today. You don't have to be super exact with the medications on when it happened. Like you can say date of first fill is 2011. They go like 10 years, just put in 10 years, but if like, don't try to get them day as well. Insulin, we're just gonna say unsure. Uncontrolled diabetes in the past 10 years. Normally this is no, as well as not a lot of the final expense policies even care to ask your A1C. I only know of a couple. So normally we say it wasn't more than 8%. So we're gonna say no. So we're gonna put 50 here. And then these are the companies that come up. So the reason why just insulin alone comes up as a interesting thing is because this person's 50. So a lot of carriers either like around like being diagnosed with diabetes after 50, not before. So these are the carriers that will take, I put 2011, right guys? So that was when they were 39. Wait, no, 2011. I was going with 11 years. I don't know, I'm not that smart. So we're gonna do, there's CVS, Ascendo Preferred, Plan Right Preferred. Now, you see these CFG and like Mutual of Omaha, their products say graded on there, as well as they have those green little dollar signs. Why do they have those green little dollar signs? It's saying your commission's being cut based off of the guidelines you put in. So for Classic, Advantage, Graded, the commission is cut up to 20% for clients between the ages of 40 and 80. And Mutual of Omaha Graded, it's cut up to 40% for clients ages 45 and 80. Well, between the ages. All right. If you click on the I, so this is probably one of the most important things. So you don't pick a graded or guaranteed policy. I know a lot of these names of these products are confusing to a lot of you. So I always hover over to the I to make sure it's not this fancy, new name that's actually a graded policy. So it tells you 1 to 2 years, this product is return of premium. ROP is return of premium plus 10%. So if they die within 2 years of having that policy, they would give them their premium back 10%, as well as 3+ years, it's 100%. And then you have the question mark, why? If insulin for diabetes, no complication, was first, and their first fill was prior to 44, it will be graded. So that's a little hint for you guys. If it was after 45, then she would be okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna click compare. Well, oh, sorry, not on the And then if you wanted to see as well, there's other products here. There's Immediate Solution Standard, Level. But see, a lot of these don't have the eyes on them. I have this one that comes up a lot. American Amicable, their ROP product or their graded product is almost a 4-year wait or 4-year wait if they're between the ages of 50 and 60. You want to make sure you don't, because your client's going to easily go to a product if they are in a graded situation for a 2-year graded. Why not, right? So I am going to use Ascendo Preferred.
You there?
And it's with CVS Health. If it, oh, there you go. So we're going to do it the Alliance way and click the face amount. You're going to do 3 options. So I'm going to say for him, he wants 5,000, 10,000, and 20,000. And then I'm going to click compare. So normally you can either write these down or flip this to your client and say, all right, which one fits in your budget the best?
Did you get your teeth done? Oh, yeah.
And then guess what? If they proceed, they go, yeah, I want this, $20,000. Which by the way, if you're quoting or like they say, yeah, I'll go with the highest option. I always, kind of say there's higher if you want that as well, but 20,000 is an excellent choice. But you see this begin e-app button? It's going to take you right there to their website, which I seem to be having internet issues. It's going to take you right to their website to do. And then if you want to add accidental to this policy, you can quote it here as well. But normally, as everyone knows, we normally like to add an extra accidental policy for only a couple more dollars with the for like $50,000 of coverage.
Hey,
So
Sabrina.
yeah, go ahead.
So I thought we weren't supposed to click the e-app button and rather go to the ARC and then hit the drop down on the carriers and select it that way.
You can do both.
Okay.
I normally just go straight to the ARC because it's habit.
Yeah.
I think CFG you have to go to the ARC for.
Okay.
I don't think they have worked this out with like the pen and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't bring you directly here, but you can do it here as well. No, so either way, as long as the links work, you're good to do it here.
Okay. Just double checking.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So who here on this call had in the last, 2 weeks, because we were just at our most recent convention, had something interesting in a home, like an interesting, like diagnosis or an interesting medication that they're like, holy crap, what'd I do with this?
And financial strain.
I mean, I had 13 different medications for my first appointment and I had no idea what any of them were.
Mm-hmm.
I just listed them all down. I called you up because I didn't know what any of them were and like what that was going to do beforehand.
Okay, so I can show you kind of what I did. So I remember the situation that she had a psychotic disorder. A lot of those meds that I was putting in here kept on pinging for a psychotic disorder. I think risperidone was one of the medications, and you're going to get that with time, but I know, that's normally for schizophrenia or some sort of psychotic disorder normally. So we're going to say she's currently being treated with it. And she said she was just put onto it because of her thyroid, like last December. I think I remember that. Something
Yeah.
like that. So we're going to click next. Requiring inpatient treatment. That was a yes as well because she was hospitalized. She said it was because of her thyroid. So I am going to put under health condition. Sorry, hold on. There you go. Thyroid.
Bill?
I think it was, let me see, surgery, if it pops up. No. All right, so I'm just gonna put in for this case. I don't think she had her thyroid removed, but I think it was hypothyroid. Date of last treatment, current, and that's fine. So Mel, try to refresh my memory. She was on
Yeah.
4 heart meds,
Like
something
I
like
think
that.
it was like 2 heart meds and it was mostly just for pain. And then I told you how the only surgery she had was like that monitor thing. And then they put that in, but that was it. She didn't have like a bypass or anything.
All right, so it was think it was 3 or 4 meds because I was like, whew.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to do lisinopril for high blood pressure.
Yep.
A lot of her stuff was just diagnosed, in the end of last year.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't really know either. Like she couldn't tell me exact dates.
Yeah.
So a lot of it I just had to go off of what I could find on the bottles. And
Yeah. So metoprolol will do. We're gonna do that for high blood pressure as well. And she started that December-ish. I gotta move my bar on here because I can't see. All right, December 2023. Okay. Yes, she's compliant. And I'm gonna put in one more Lasix. High blood pressure controlled. We started it in December
Now.
2023. Say it was 60 milligrams or less. And let me see. I don't think, oh, there was some pain medication, gabapentin.
yeah, there was that weird one too that was like for digesting all the pills. Like she had, I guess just agitated from it or something like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember the exact pill for that, but I
That's
think
probably
she-
Ozempiral.
no, it's not Ozempic. We're gonna say, I'm just
I
gonna
think he
click
was
on,
trying to say omeprazole.
oh, omeprazole.
Zol. Yes, that's what I meant
We
to
had a
say.
baby between Ozempic and omeprazole. Ozempiral. I like it. So 2023, she had gabapentin, and we're gonna do omeprazole. Now, I normally don't put omeprazole in here, but I am for this case because the carriers don't care if you take omeprazole. Like it's one of those such low level drugs. It's like, okay, everyone's on omeprazole. Who's not? So I'm just gonna go in with these couple of things, and it's a lot of things. So we're gonna go see where it says Ascendo preferred. Now, Mel, where did I tell you to go?
So I ended up going with Transamerica for her.
And you were thinking CFG at first, though, right?
Yeah, CFG was at the top of the list and it seemed
Mhm.
like, it was going to be the best, but
Mm-hmm.
I started going through with Transamerica.
Yeah. So you see why I did that. So this is saying graded. Now,
Right.
if I scroll through the entire list, I could have sent you to CVS. But since we did the training on Transamerica already, it went with them.
Mhm.
So I went with them instead of CFG. And these other ones, these two are graded.
Yeah.
And then,
I think the other preferred options were more expensive too.
yeah, exactly. And then Mel, what did you do? So you said you used the quoting tool before. So what
Yeah.
happened when you put in all of the medications? And I know I'm missing medications. It was a interesting case. What happened to your quoting tool?
I think it kind of bugged out, if I
Mhm.
remember right. Like it wasn't going through and I was like, uh-oh. Like,
And what carriers showed up, right? It was
yeah,
all graded,
yeah. It was all graded.
which means you put too much information in there. So this is a guide. It's there, but if you start throwing in, I mean, like they had their toe, trimmed last Tuesday, and they're on all these medications. A lot of them, I don't want you even spending your time with, like just like omeprazole is one of them. If they just take like lisinopril for high blood pressure, just one pill, you don't got to put that in. Like they understand, like they're going to be like, it's old age. things that happen with older age. And they don't care if you take like one metoprolol and it's the only high blood pressure. Normally, a lot of not drug companies, insurance companies, they have like a 3 rule. A couple of them don't have it. If you're on more than 3 heart drugs, that's a no for a lot of people. So let me, oh, hydro.
And you said just heart drugs specifically?
Specifically, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do this first one. So I'm gonna say she's taking this one for high blood pressure too. She's taking a lot of medication for high blood pressure. So we're gonna click get quote. So graded. Now, actually, a lot of them are actually the same now. It used to be a big issue if they took more than like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
But if I kept going here, I mean, I can just type in atenolol. Let's just keep it going. She just has really bad high blood pressure, guys. Yeah, she's compliant. Let's
Okay, so can you?
we're gonna go to Jackson. We're gonna throw in here now. She has AFib. She hasn't experienced an episode in the last 12 months.
Paragraph right below.
So you would think some of all of these heart meds, right? Just crazy how many heart meds.
Here.
And she's still okay with a couple carriers. So I'm not sure exactly what situation, like what you put in, Mel, but there's probably something. There is sometimes if they might have taken it out, but I'm gonna put in gabapentin in here.
Yeah, that was definitely on it, I'm pretty sure.
We're gonna go pain, and let's say she has diabetes, right? I know
She didn't have diabetes.
Mhm.
She was just taking something that was related to it. Neuropathy, yeah, like
yeah, you can have
pills, yeah.
neuropathy without diabetes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But for this case, I just want to show you if I put in gabapentin.
Take out.
Oh, yeah, so it was lower than 8%. So I put in 2 drugs and it popped up. She probably has diabetic neuropathy. Now, this is up to your choosing if you want to, you're a new agent. You're like, yeah, you probably want to turn to the client and be like, have you ever been told you've had diabetic neuropathy? Or, hey, have you ever been told you had heart failure or kidney disease? Or those are the things that pop up here. So we're going to say, yes, she was diagnosed with neuropathy, diabetic neuropathy. And it's going to ask me the same questions for the diabetes questions. So I'm going to click get quote.
Make that happen. And there's the findings.
Wow, guys, what are we going to do here? I see modified, basic, which you see the money sign with the I, it means it's graded. Bam, this one says graded in its name. This one says graded. Oh, what is this Transamerica doing over here? If traded with insulin, standard. Okay, that's
That's
not
the
bad.
one.
Let's see if we can get any other day 1 coverage. I'm seeing all graded here. Okay. I'm not seeing anything not graded, right, guys? So you're gonna go standard because you're gonna want to get them that immediate coverage. As well as diabetes with Transamerica, as of this time we're making this video, is always standard. It doesn't matter if they have a complication or don't have a complication. Because if I remove this diabetic with neuropathy, and gabapentin, so I'm just gonna leave on insulin in there. You see all these other carriers like it. Oh, Transamerica Standard again, wow. Because if ever treated with insulin for diabetes, standard. So why would you go Transamerica Standard versus a CFG first or preferred? Let's take a look at that. So I'm change this to a female. So I'm gonna do 5,000. Actually, that's kind of low. I'm gonna do 10,000, 20,000, and 40,000. So standard with Transamerica. Let's look at it. So we're looking at 26.68 for 10,000, $51 for 20,000, and almost $100 for 40,000. All right. So you see this company name over here? So we're gonna click CFG. Now I want you to know, if you click on this, you have to click on the coverage type, or it's going to change it automatically to their most preferred level. All right, so let's take a look at this. Oh, I forgot CFG doesn't even go that high. All right, so we're going 27.20 or 50.90. All right, let's see if we go back to Transamerica. See how it switched it to preferred? So I'm gonna change it to standard. So the Transamerica Standard is only like $1-ish difference. So if you're comfortable with that, go with Transamerica. But let's say she's guaranteed issue. She has Alzheimer's and end-stage kidney disease. So I'm gonna go company name. I'm gonna go Great Western and guaranteed issue. $96. Now, who knows? Who is our other guaranteed issue company, guys? Anyone want to take a?
I use Corbridge.
All right, there you go. Corbridge, formerly known as AIG, which is still has not been changed on the quoting tool.
Next slide is proper estate planning.
So, Great Western, 20,000 or 20,000 for 96.25. Let's take a look at Corbridge. Wow, 79.78. And I'm gonna shift it back 79.78. I'm gonna change this again to guaranteed. Wow, almost a $20 difference, guys. You always want to check. Sometimes there's some things in people's underwriting that's or not underwriting, but we once found a hack for like CFG. It was like a perfect, if they were like 73 and a male, it like knocked everyone's price out of the water. I think they fixed it.
What I have on my.
Does anyone have questions up until this point?
No, that's different. scenario.
Okay.
Proper estate planning.
So I'm gonna switch this puppy to term. So you see how I did it in the top right there? So I am not gonna put anything here. I'm not gonna click return a premium. But if you want to, I'll show you what pops up. We're gonna go female. We're gonna say she's 20 years old. Height and weight, we're not gonna do nicotine. She's perfectly healthy. We're gonna say she wants a 30-year term. You have to choose the term you want on here. I am gonna show you that later. If I put in a 60-year-old and put a 30-year term, no one will pop up.
So in there, yeah.
Or 65-year-old, I think is the right, yeah. So I'm gonna do 30. Normally our go-to term products is this. We used to do term made simple, but it's the safe care term, 30-year. And we also do a CFG. So let's take a look at them. 30 years, She's looking for 100,000, 250,000, 350,000, or 300,000. So we're gonna click compare. And these would be the rates for a 20-year-old. Super cheap, right? Term always plays its role. Not a bad thing. But I do want to take a second of these eyes. So these eyes on these say living benefits, terminal, critical, and chronic. Well, if we go to term made simple, okay, it has terminal, chronic, and accelerated death benefit. So we're missing critical here, right? They have riders, but it's not included in the policy. So again, all right. Well, this one has all three too. And so does Mutual of Omaha. And these ones don't got it. This one has it. Don't ask me what living benefits America has. I can't tell you. I just don't write it. Now, American Amicable does their terms a little interesting. So they have preferred and standard. What gets you that preferred level? You know, no blood pressure, perfect, pristine health. You know, I should not say no blood pressure, they would be dead, but no blood pressure problems. So I want to show, let's say I put something. Let me see.
Before you go over this, let me ask you this first question, who in the room has a child over 18?
I'm trying to see what medication you would think would get you declined. I'm gonna say
Thank you. Who in the room has a child?
am I having, sorry, bear with me. I gotta Google how to spell rheumatoid. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm having a RHEUM. Okay, I got it, guys. I got it. No one wanted to help me there. You're like, I don't know what you're asking. So rheumatoid arthritis, they got treated like today. Minimal or slight impairment. Yeah, pretty minimal. Nah, she's 20. She's pretty good. She don't need help with her ADLs.
Yeah.
Okay, so Forsters will still do it. Made simple. Okay, a lot of these will still do it. Oh snap, a couple people fell off. But what I do want to say is Mutual of Omaha here will take it. That means they would take it on their IULE because they use the same underwriting. So if you ever have a question, you know, can someone, you know, you guys are new, you know, with the heart attack 9 years ago, would they get approved? Well, you know, that's a good question. So let's ask that. So we're gonna say in 2015, they were diagnosed. Date of occurrence versus date of diagnosis. All right, so we're gonna do heart attack.
We're up to here.
Mutual of Omaha fell off.
Right, which goes after.
So you're not alone when it comes to quoting IULEs or not quoting. You can't quote IULEs and like specialty products here. You can quote final expense or term with the products that are here. But you can't, you would have to go to that carrier's website, which all of you should have the app for.
You can base those findings and
What about checking if they can, I can't think of the actual term, but if you can check if they can get rolled over after they've had it, a convertible?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a
Which
way to check
policies are
that?
convertible
Uh-huh,
if they have a term?
yeah.
You would just have to know the product.
I have.
Yeah,
Is it
you would
probably
just
only gonna
have
be like the preferred ones?
No, if they get approved for a term, depending on the product, it would just be, they can convert it. Like CFG, I know has a conversion product, Mutual of Omaha has one. I think Transamerica does. So it's really, it depends on the product. If that's something you do wanna, you can just look it up on the ARC, like CFG and like Mutual of Omaha, let's say that's who you've decided to do your terms with, or American Amicable. Either ask us, or you can look at the product highlight sheets.
Okay.
So Mutual of Omaha recently got rid of their return of premium product for 30-year terms. So these is our options if I clicked return of premium. So we got Americo and American Amicable. So these ones are 75% ROP, which is not bad. And then we got CBO 50 and CBO 100, which I think, I could be wrong, I just don't sell a lot of terms or Americo. CBO means cash back option of 100% and then 50%. Don't quote me on that, could be wrong, but I'm thinking that's what it means. Why there's two. So Mutual of Omaha isn't here. So let's say you have a 20-year-old now and wants to do 20-year term. Okay, all these are still available. So 10 years. Ooh, no. Oh wait, snap, that may be no rate available for 50,000. Term is kind of a little funny because they'll have the rate so low. So I sometimes change that to 100,000. Yeah, no rate available. So just play around with it. That's really what I can urge you to do. Same with the final expense. If you really want to find out, you have a healthy 50-year-old and they want to see who can get them the most coverage. So let's put in 40,000. Click get quote. Okay, all these companies show up. Let's try 45,000, right? Okay. Some companies fell off, but let's continue. 50,000. Okay.
I do like, sorry, I do like the
Yeah.
feature, like if you scroll down and you've put in the 50,000, you can hit that arrow and see all of
Mhm.
them, like their annual rate for it. That's really helpful when you're in a time crunch and instead of going in
Yeah.
and out.
Yeah, so you can click that arrow. Good point, Michelle. So that would be the annual rate. I mean, you would have to divide it by 12 with the monthly rate of the accidental. But you can click and be like, all right, we got CVS is 1,400, Mutual of Omaha is 1,221, Transamerica's 1,241. So if you're just shopping prices here, 1240, 1221 we're looking at, 1221, 1221. Yeah, I don't see anyone beating it. So you would just click on compare and you can do your whole 3 quotes. So that's an option you can do if you're shopping price. Some of us shop specifically with one carrier, some, other people shop price. But once you know, I mean, most of the time it's Mutual of Omaha and Transamerica that are normally the cheapest. Now it just depends on your upline if they like Mutual of Omaha or if they like Transamerica. That's up to them, but you can use it here. So you can clear the fields here, or you can save it to the CRM. So let me we have a 35-year-old who had a DUI. See, driver license suspended, revoked, not due to DUI, or you can do once prison. No, maybe it was jail.
Might
If it's
try
Oh, I'm being
incarceration?
dumb. It's felony or I don't think incarceration. No. So it's felony or like parole or probation. So you got
If it's
someone
older
who's
than
on-
10 years, we don't have to put it, right?
normally, I mean, not for final expense.
Yeah. Okay.
Some, I would do it on terms. Some of them have ever questions versus in the past 10 years. Sometimes, have you ever had a felony or ever had this?
Right.
So they're currently on parole. We're going to do that. Has the prospect been confined to a prison or correctional facility within the last 5 years? We're going to say yes. Yeah, quote. Oof. Now, see how options for 35-year-olds are so little in the final expense? So I'm going to change this back to a 50-year-old. Okay. Just don't commit a crime when you're young. So CVS will take it. Forcers will take it day one. Mutual of Omaha, I don't trust that, but if you want to choose to trust that, you can. That's up to you. You got to use your own. I just don't put people with problems with them. Like that I think would get denied. And we got, Great Western level. Other ones are coming up graded. It's kind of one of those things. Some of them don't care. Some of them do care. Same with DUIs. There was someone, don't remember who was on a call, but I think my urge is saying Jimmy of who had a DUI in like December of like last year or something like that. More than DUIs, more than 2, we're gonna say no. With their license suspended, no. More than 1 DUI in the last 2 years, no. So we're gonna click on it. All right, modified, preferred with foresters, graded with CFG, Mutual of Omaha. Again, if you want to trust that, you can. But a lot of these other companies are popping up graded. I won't. You have Americo level, Great Western level, Transamerica's a decline. AIG, simplified issues, a decline. So that's what you're doing, because I think I remember, I think it was Jimmy, I can't remember who it was, but they were going to go CFG or Transamerica, and I said, nope, we're going to choose a level option. We're going to go Great Western. I think I might have pointed them towards Great Western, but Great Western, or again, I just wouldn't trust Mutual of Omaha, so I didn't choose them. So I think I chose Great Western. But if you call up and you say, help, I put in this case, I have these 3 carriers, which one would you choose? I was thinking, you want to lean into the conversation. So you don't want to be like, you can be helpless. Sometimes the clients like that. Some of them don't, but you can be like, hey, I have, Sally here. She got a DUI in December. What do you think? And then I will tell you on the phone. I'll go Great Western, and you'll go perfect. That's what I was thinking. Thank you, Sabrina. Click. So that gets a lot of the heat off your back, because the client's not going to get upset with you if you're double checking something. They're just not. Be like, thank you for taking the time for making sure my policy goes through at the best rate possible. So I would choose that. Does anyone have like something that gets them thrown off? Like any sort of condition or situation? Going once.
I know some things have changed with COPD, where that used to be an
Okay.
issue that would throw me off, but now we've had some leniency and changes with that.
But that's a good
Same.
option. So I'm gonna do that one. So I'm gonna say she's female. She's currently being treated for COPD. They diagnosis. She got it in November of 2020. Does she take any inhalers for this condition? If the prospect takes any inhalers for this condition, which normally they do, have the medications or related dosages have been changed? We're gonna say no. Propose the insured, nebulizer, we're gonna say no. Take 3 or more. So you see that 3 or more question? They used to have that for heart, but it seemed like it changed. But we're gonna say no. So standard with CVS, standard with Foresters, graded. So standard with Transamerica. Now, you guys know, for the people that got on the Transamerica call. So it says, this red little dot, toolkit reflects what is displayed in Transamerica own underwriting grid and follows Transamerica comorbidity guidelines. Be advised that very few final expense carriers look at comorbidities and prospect time, blah, 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 blah. Surprising. So it's basically saying Transamerica works in a different way. So you can, with activity credits, be preferred if you have multiple diagnoses like COPD with diabetes with a hospitalization, you're declined. It depends. So that's what it's saying. Be on your toes. Again, I would call when you're first starting out, be like, hey, I was thinking Transamerica for this person, and I'll be like preferred, standard. Because whenever I tell you to go give them quotes, and you want to be look out on this option. So let's say I was helping you on the phone and you said, yeah, Miss Sally has COPD. All right, go Transamerica preferred. And you put in COPD here and Transamerica standard comes up. You just got to go to compare and you got to click it to stand or preferred. Or another option, you can just remove it. If the national product specialist told you preferred, just listen and go preferred and just clear everything out, and all of the, I gotta click the get quote, all the preferred will pop up. Okay. Does anyone have something, any other questions? We have a couple minutes left. Real quick question. All right. So I gave you guys the login. I will post it in the WhatsApp. And then Michelle, I think Caroline has her own. So just in case I think you're the only one. So if you already have it, and then for our newer people, I'll post it in our WhatsApp because we changed the email address for the people that hopped on after.